Okay, guys, what's up? We're doing Antiquity Unveiled. We're on page 79, and we're going to be doing Vespasian, the 10th Roman Emperor. And that's Vespasian, Vespasian. I greet you, sir. I might as well introduce myself before I proceed to give my communication. I am sent here by Apollonius of Tyana, and my name was Vespasian. I commanded the forces at the taking of Jerusalem. I was afterwards an emperor. Amongst the Jews at the time, there was no account of such a person as Jesus of Nazareth, but there were several Jesuses commanding the mutineers, yet neither Greek, Roman, nor Jew knew aught of what is known as the Christian Savior. There was Apollonius, who was what you would certainly term at present day a great medium. By laying his hands upon a roll, upon which nothing whatever was written, communications would come from the spirits of our ancestors. In that way, this man was of immense benefit to me in the reduction of Jerusalem. He was deified after his death. His features and hair resembled very much the statues of the god Jupiter. He was looked upon in our camp as the reincarnation of the god Apollo. By reincarnation, I do not mean it in the sense in which you understand it today, but that he was a god in flesh. The real truth of the whole affair was that this man was a medium, and that all his teachings were identical with those in the good book of the Christians, or in the God book of the Christians. He rebuked fevers and diseases, and they left those afflicted with them. Our idea of disease was that they were the result of demonology, that is, that they were produced by spirits that were only elementary. But this idea was incorrect, for since I became a spirit, I have failed to find such elementary spirits. But I have found diseased spirits who are attracted to mortals by their diseases, and they make sick and help to kill those they obtain control of. Another thing I cannot understand is that with all my endeavors to get possession of the old books of the Jews, I did not succeed in getting one, for the Jews destroyed them rather than that they should be desecrated by heathens. Now, how Christians can claim that they have copies of the ancient Hebrew prophets when I could not obtain one, I cannot understand. This is something I leave the present Christians and Jews to explain, because I searched their dead, their houses, their captives, but could obtain nothing of them except the acknowledgment that the Jews had such books, and none of them were allowed to fall into Roman hands. My main purpose in giving Josephus his life was to get through him these books, but I failed even that case. The reason why Josephus never mentioned this Apollonius was because the Jews, and especially the Pharisees, would have nothing to do with a heathen prophet or philosopher. In fact, the Jews were the lowest heathens of my time on earth. They worshipped everything they felt like worshiping. They had no special code or system of laws. The man that succeeded in gaining the most followers governed everything for the time, and that was the reason we Romans were so severe with them. If they caught a Roman soldier by himself, they would cut his throat with as little hesitation as they would kill a dog. You will receive further particulars from Felix, procurator of Judea. He says he wants to give his solemn spirit testimony that he never heard of one St. Paul who, it is said, pleaded his cause before him. I thank you for giving me this hearing. All right. They're going to refer to the penny Encyclopedia for the account of Vespasian. Such was the emperor who testifies as a spirit that Apollonius of Tyana was with him at the siege of Jerusalem, and acted as his medium for communication with the spirits of his ancestors. As shown in our remarks upon Apollonius, both Vespasian and Titus admitted in letters to Apollonius that they were under the greatest obligation to him for services rendered to them as an oracle or medium. The testimony of this spirit that there was nothing known at Jerusalem at the time of its capture by the Romans of any such person as the Christian Savior is most important as cumulative evidence that no such person lived at the time claimed as the period of his alleged earthly teaching, that Apollonius was looked upon in the Roman camp as the reincarnation of the god Apollo, or as an incarnated god, and the fact that he was a medium whose teachings were identical with the Christian scriptures affords the strongest evidence that Apollonius was the real origin of the Christian Savior. His rebuking fevers and diseases and driving them from the sick was but the healing process so successfully practiced today by healing mediums. The suggestion or statement that spirits are sometimes diseased and that they are attracted to mortals, imparting to them disease and sometimes causing death, is a startling fact that seems to be largely borne out by observed events, especially as the case with epilepsy, as we have had much reason to know. Who knows how the books of the Jewish scriptures came into the hands of the Christian priesthood? Nothing of them was known to the most learned of the Greeks and Romans as late as the time of Vespasian. That Apollonius had much to do with the saving of the life of Josephus, there is little doubt from what Vespasian says. For it was the work of Apollonius's whole life to master the religion and mysteries of every people and then known to civilization. He undoubtedly used all his influence with Vespasian to save Josephus in the hope that he would learn the secrets of the Jewish religion through him. Vespasian states that he spared Josephus on that account. This whole communication of Vespasian is singularly confirmed of the communication of Apollonius. Thus facts accumulate, all pointing to the one result, that there is nothing original in connection with the Christian religion. And I'm going to stop there. On page 81, that was Emperor Vespasian.